Right, we need to talk about Beta 2. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is now deep into its second beta cycle, and we have already had multiple updates since it dropped. That's one of the reasons why I've held off covering it until now. Things have been moving fast, and frankly, that is a good thing. This is no longer a static preview build. We are now working with a true development beta, rough edges and all, and that is exciting. But it also means that what you're seeing here is a work in progress, not a sneak peek at the final release. Now, case in point, right now I've got 970 million credits. Every single certification has been unlocked, and I have access to all mission types anywhere in the world. And I can pick any of these missions and just see how the sim is holding it up. If I want to go into freelance mode, you can see them coming through quite rapidly there. That said, I hate to disappoint you. This is not a giant opportunity to cheat. Any progress you make in career mode here is purely for testing. You will not be able to carry through the advances you've made into the stable release. However, anything you buy in the marketplace will remain. So I think that is really good news. So this is not to download if you're looking for a pre-release. Will perhaps this beta relieve the glitch that I've experienced, and will I be able to use that to make it easier to progress in the sim, perhaps in career mode? No, you're not going to be able to do that. This is purely looking at how effective this simulator is turning out to be. So if you want to get involved into the beta yourself, I'll show you exactly how to do that in a moment. But first, welcome to the Flying Doctor UK. If you're into flight sim content with a bit of honesty, depth, and the occasional eyebrow raise, you're in the right place. Let's geek into it. So, getting into the beta is actually very simple. If you've not had a chance to see this, here you go. Firstly, you need to be either on Xbox or on the Microsoft Store, and you need to open something called Insider Hub. Well, you have to install it first. That's the only thing. So if you just type in Insider and Hub after that, you'll find I've got Xbox Insider Hubs come up as an app here. If I click on that, you can see you'll have the opportunity to install it. When you open it, just takes a couple of seconds. You have a splash screen saying what the announcements are, and then you have the previews of what is available and what you have joined. Now, all you need to do is click on any one of these. So there's a whole lot that you can preview here, just to say, be careful, because if you have used Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, there's still the betas of 2020 out there, as they're in sim updates. Well, I'm really not quite sure what it is, but it's pretty advanced there. But you can see down the bottom here, I've joined Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 beta. I won't join Xbox Simulator beta, but if I click that, you can see there I have an opportunity to join. It's as simple as that. And if you press join, you'll get a little confirmation. You'll need to ask and say, yes, I do want to be part of the scene. There you go, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 Sim Update 02 Beta. And then if you want to leave the preview, this is how you do it. You just click leave preview. As for how it actually works in practice, when you go to Xbox for PC, in my case, you'll see that you have your usual list of programs that you have games that you've downloaded. All that'll happen is that when you approach it, you'll see if there's an update due, it just says needs updating, and you can click on that update and it'll update the beta. So the thing is, until the beta actually goes live, you'll be running the beta continually. If you want to revert back, you should revert back by going back to the Insider Hub and saying you opt out, and then it will load and it will regress back to the original. So yeah, there's scope. If you've got the download time, there's scope for you to look at the beta and come back to the original, and you won't have lost anything as well. As for what to do if you bought through Steam, select the program within Steam, right click it, click on properties, and then if you move to betas, it's far more obvious here. Click on betas, and then you can opt in on the right hand side. As for what has been updated, well, you can read all about it if you go to the initial screen for 2024. Click on release notes, and there you see you can scroll down. I'm going to pick out the major developments here, but you can see tweaks on aircraft. But also do be aware we had the first update, and then we've had 2 other updates. If you click on forum for flight simulator, that'll pull that up. I've got that here, for example. You can see here beta news and beta discussions. You've had one initial beta 9 days ago, and then you had 4 days ago, and then 3 days ago. So there's a lot of improvements here. There is a lot to read, and this is just from the March the 25th update. So this was the first iteration of beta 2. What can I say? Well, the infinite loading screen is gone. In fact, I can confirm this because I do have the occasional infinite loading screen that's wait forever when I was using beta 1. Now I've got beta 2. Things have improved greatly. So secondly, GPU crashes on startup, especially with newer NVIDIA drivers. That's now fixed. Bugs in the kind of user interface, text overlapping emissions, broken buttons in the hangar, that's resolved. And even the cockpit flicker when resizing windows has been sorted. And that's the kind of iterative progress you want to see in a live beta. It's not glamorous, but it's a sign that the developers are listening and acting. Look at this, and I haven't even managed to get to the bottom of just the initial first iteration of update 2. Skyship 600 improved. I think I saw a helicopter improved. Boeing 737 MAX 8. Look at all of this for one aircraft moving down here. In fact, you know, there's not enough space on the screen. And there we are, Super Hornet there. So you can see this is an incredible amount of bug fixes. As for career mode, yes, it's completely unlocked. So you can jump into anything that's unusual. For me, that would be, well, firefighting, medevac, VOP charters. Those are new to me. I focused before on developing a cargo business. So this is perfect for testing. You don't have to grind or unlock anything. And yeah, I've got 970 million credits to play with, and it just gives me bonus credits when I come back the next day as well. But yes, it's for testing. It's a sandbox. Come launch day, you'll be starting afresh or going back to where you already were. Interesting, some things that you just click in here. So I've just clicked on the flight back. I can see immediate changes and refinements going on here. The first thing I spot is that the background for the map has changed, although I can switch it back to have a look at the map settings, and I can go back to satellite maps there, and they should sort of show quite naturally. But I'm seeing much more refinement on this, much more detail, the text looks a lot better, but also I've got much more attractive and easy to the eye kind of coloured sections that are going on here. And I can see this area of the sim is being worked on considerably. I am seeing some delays internally as the wheel of waiting in the right hand corner continues to work. So we're not all there fully yet, but generally I am seeing progress. Well, oh look, we're in different uniform anyway. But I can manage the aircraft in the same way if I click on management, and you can see I need to make progress here to maintain, but I've got enough there to be able to maintain this, get the aircraft into decent flyable state. And there we are. And this is what extra credits does. Off you go. You can even pay the delegated maintenance. There we are. Okay, I'm just having a look around here, and in this instance, all of the aircraft, and we'll start taxiing them in, but all the aircraft are actually on the ground here. I still am seeing 1 or 2 aircraft kind of sitting, levitating 3 or 4 foot off the surface of the tarmac, which does tend to disturb the kind of sense of immersion. That is still happening, but I think there's a lot of work going on that. it looks a bit soft. It does look a bit kind of gamey. It looks a bit soft and it lacks bite for me. But that's a minor point really, because basically there's ways and means of sorting that kind of problem later on. A really good example here, some of the detail that needs working on, talking about the space between the aircraft and what you're expected to do in terms of manoeuvring around other aircraft. There's our passenger transport plane. You can just see we've got an overlap of the wings here. You know, nothing would ever in real life be this close. And that's such a shame, because it does kind of break the immersion a little bit. I do like the dirt on the side of the aircraft here, though. But you can see it's sort of lacking a little bit of detail in my view, a little bit of grit. Needs a bit of sharpening. Yeah, one of the things that has improved, I'll come back into the sim, that I'm delighted at, is the time compression, or the ability to speed up the sim. I am flying here, and even in standard career missions, you'll be able to speed up the sim. It's not cheating, it's why it's called a simulator, so you can focus on the bits you need to focus on, but you need a fair amount of skill doing it. But I'm just really pleased that I can see here just by looking at the readouts, and you can see the dangers of also me speeding up the sim. I'm missing the air traffic control requests that are coming in. So there's me speeding away here, and no problems at all. So that wasn't in the original beta 2, that was taken out. So your ability to assess careers was not as full, but quite happily here, as we get to 9,300 feet, is working. I'm able to speed it up. However, rewarding it, you know, you are asking the sim to do a huge amount, and there's a certain level of instability that does come. Yeah, so I press try and get the heading button there. Get it, come on, get it, heading. I'm going to do it, no. So I'm just going to slow the sim right down now. Click on heading, and the aircraft will turn. There we are. So that is a definite improvement. Sorry that you haven't got a better view, folks. And what I'm interested in doing is just circling a little bit here. Let's just and have a look around. I'm interested in the draw distance. So suddenly my frame rate has improved. There's London in front of me. It's looking a bit sort of grim. Let's just give ourselves a bit more light, so the opportunity to see around as much as possible. Let's have some custom weather. Let's have some clear skies. Here we go. And let's just have a look into the distance. Now I can see now, yes, if I just zoom in here, you may well get this. I'm just seeing this for the first time, and you can see that this is really odd, because I know London, and I did know it doesn't just end like that in a bank, and then you're into then you're into sort of the countryside. It's not quite like that. Yeah, there's something that about the draw distance. You know, how many of these items are being drawn in the distance, being used perhaps to give more stability to the sim. Looking down, yeah, it's nuclear winter effect. Yeah, so I think yes, this is not next gen yet, but we'll wait and just see how progress. See what holds. I've got things popping in now. Could well be my internet connection as well. Usually run about 50 megabits per second, yes. So yeah, I do think there's an issue there, and but it's a working beta. So here we are. Got that little warning there. I am running on absolute max here, but I'll be happy at 30 frames per second at any other time. But this is with photogrammetry turned off, and you can see look how the draw distance is actually reducing here as well. And then clearly we've got Wembley there. You can just see. Oh look, yes. Let's see if we can. Yes, you can just see Wembley here. So that clearly is an additional article in scenery object in the sim. But yeah, London does not end like this, and you can see what's going on here. So not quite there yet. I'm going to increase the sim rate actually whilst we're in the sim, just to give us an idea. And you can see that LOD distance is reduced. So yes, and yeah, it's not fair to perhaps do it sped up. So let's get it onto reasonable speed, where we would usually be. And you can still see, I'm actually seeing quite low frames per second. That is quite disappointing, have to admit. So yes, some work to be done. And also I should mention I can increase manually the terrain level of detail. So maybe it's more that there's some tweaking in the background that's gone around that setting. So let's just have a look there. You can see that I can increase it should I want. Objects levels of detail, it's called, up to 200 max. Well, not max out everything. And you can see, yes, that looks a lot different. So perhaps it's one of those examples where you sort of need to make the manual do it. That looks a lot better to me here. And yes, I've not got stuff popping out in the distance. So yeah, jury's out. Let me know what you think in the comment section. In terms of stability though, I know other people have had crashes to desktop. And dips over heavy scenery. This is the first time I've seen a dip, to be honest, in the sceneries. But going by the forums, I am not alone. Crashes are a top issue for other people, but they're not for me. So some way to go. Some way to go yet. Okay, we're inside the Pilatus now. We've moved on a little bit. I'm flying quite low. That's but one of the things I wanted to just cover was that there has been a change to the graphics settings in the form of the option of exposure compensation, and I thought it was worth us just exploring that. You can now manually tweak the brightness, which helps a lot in some conditions. Let's just have a look at doing that then. And the place where you find it is in the settings, obviously. Can't see it here. Yeah, that because it's not in that list. It's at the top here. You can have a look at exposure compensation. So I can drop the exposure down or add more exposure if I like. Let's push it right up to 2. So that's at maximum now. Do we see a difference? Yeah, I see a difference. There is a difference there straight away. I can see in the splash screen. Let's just have a look as we resume up here. So yes, it's not as bold as you think it would be, but it could make a difference. Interested to just drop it all the way down, and let's have a look here as well. Let's drop things right the way down and see what -2 looks like. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so you can actually you can refine things, but I'm not really sure this is something that is really required or being demanded of. Yeah, there's a definite difference there. As you can see, I'm still getting this little message that's popping up, my resource usage. So I might need to change, but I should say yes, I'm in 4K. I'm waxed out on anything on a 4080 Super, and I'm using top end, probably the top end processor from AMD. And I'm a bit disappointed that I am seeing these signals still come along. It'll be okay to be expecting a drop in performance. It's not okay for me to get a warning about that. Everyone knows that my performance is going to drop. Nonetheless, Beta 2, is it broken? Yes, in parts. Is it brilliant? Sometimes, yes, it is. But more than anything, it is alive. This is a true development beta. Things are being fixed, features are being tested, and if we give good feedback, the final product will be all the better for it. So whether you're flying, testing, or just watching from the sidelines, this is a great reflection of how Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is evolving, even with the plane that can hardly get off the runway at London City Airport. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your experiences have been. If you found this helpful, that's wonderful. Hit the like and subscribe. Please do. I'll be back as soon with more from the Flying Doctor UK. Fly safe, keep geeking. And as for what I'm looking at next, I'm obviously really interested to see the difference I'm seeing with the top-end CPU. And but also I looked at the Interceptor tutorials, which look absolutely fantastic. Have a look at those as an add-on that you can use, and you can do that within the this beta as well. So yeah, anything you buy in the marketplace remains with you. So yeah, lots to look at. Take care, stay safe, folks. Thanks for watching.